guys, and welcome to my channel, Flame with a 4. In this video, we're going to be doing issue 100 of Build the Terminator T-800. So, in this one, we're going to assemble the left foot and attach the lower left leg. So, cannot wait to do this with you guys. It's going to be so fun. Right, so we had a bit of a hiccup, and we broke a part. We'll say I broke the part. So, what happened in the last issue, I broke this part, but I kind of stole it out of issue 100. So issue 99 I broke it, and then this issue now, you know, I managed to get a replacement. Basically, I've got a replacement, guys. So I will put the name up of the person on the Facebook group that managed to help me get this part that I broke. So I broke this one, and he got me another one. He sent it first class straight away, didn't want anything for it. Absolutely fantastic. So this is the one that I broke on the last one. Put too much force into it and it snapped off. And, you know, there's so many good people. This is why it's so important or so good to be part of the Facebook groups, guys, because the Facebook groups can always help you out if you need something like this. I desperately needed this. I cannot continue my Terminator builds without this part. So I thank you very much for doing that for me. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to give a massive shout out. His name is going to be left at the bottom for a little while. Yeah, so to give him some love if you could, guys, because he's helped us be able to continue this build. But what we need to do, guys, we need to go grab all our parts out. So they're just in here for issue 100. I'm going to just see what we need. So most of them are sort of attached still to this. So again, all you need to do is just pry them off and then clean up any of the bits that you need to on the edges where you've taken them off. So we'll take those off. So you get two longer ones and one shorter one. Just make sure you check your parts off. I'm just going to chuck that down there. Right. Okay, guys, as you can already tell, there are quite a few pieces to this one. So once you've checked them all off and you're happy, we just need to turn the page. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to build that final toe. So let's get that done so we can just quickly get through this. So we've done them before, guys. Every single other issue that we've done a toe. So we should know how to do this really, really easily now. So we're going to just assemble and go. So that is what it should look like at the end. So it should look like that. And as you can see, I used a Model Mods finger fix for the toe at the end there, because I just think it looks a bit better than having a plastic rivet with it showing the other side, as opposed to having two screws. So it just looks like it's put together a lot better. So there you go. So that's that. So we should now have all of our toes, and we now need to put them into position, starting with number 5 all the way down to number 1. Okay, guys, once you have all your toes lined up ready to go, you kind of need to put them in sequence into the main foot section itself. So what it's asking for it to do is it to be around this way, like so, and then it's saying from number 1, so number 1 has to be the side that's furthest away from here. So on each one you will have numbers. So this one says it's number 1, and what it wants us to do, you kind of need to, you can kind of really just copy the other foot if you need to, is make sure that the big piston piece here is up. So you want to make sure that it sits in to place like so, like that. And what it's saying for it to do is it to be like that, but you need to make sure that that goes at the bottom. So they go at the bottom like that, and then you just need to line them all up. So you line them all up in place. So from obviously number 1 all the way up to number 5, and then screw the bottoms in. So we'll go ahead and just screw the bottoms in, and then we'll show you an example of what we mean by that when we're done it. So guys, once you have them all in place like this, they will look a little bit weird because they're all hanging down. You want to have number 1 this side, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here. If you do it the right way round, number 5 shouldn't be showing number 5 and then number 1 shouldn't be showing number 1 on the sides. All the numbers should be on the inside as it goes down like that. And then once you've done that, you want to kind of like lift the toes, the top of the toes over and onto this like ridge at the top. So I'll try and do it so I can show you what I mean. So doing one at a time, you want to kind of lift them up over like that. So they sit like that. And then you just need to take another pin, which we put through the bottom there. We'll give you the number and the bits of the pin in a second. And then they just push through until they get to the end. You want to make sure they're all lined up. And then they hold them in place. And then if we get our trusty Allen key and do that up, excuse my shaky hand, that'll just hold them in place for a minute. Don't want to go all the way through. And then you should have them all in place like that. So if I bend the toes down so they look a little bit normal. That one's really tough, but it should go down. There we go. Then it should look like that. Look how cool that is. So good. I love the foot. I just love putting the foot together. So just so you know, that's how they want it to look at that stage. So I'll just go through the parts that we put through there, just so you know where we're at on that. So 91-5 are the long rods, which are like this. They just go through, one goes through the bottom, which goes through there to hold the bottom row on. And then another one, once you put the flat section, so this is the flat section here at the bottom of the foot, then you want the bits that look like pistons to go on the top. You loop those over and then you put another one of those 91-5s through there. So I think they call that 91-5, was that 100-9? Let me just double check. They're 100-9, sorry. 100-9s is this long bit, so that's 100-9. That goes through there. So then you should have something that looks like that, like a little foot. It looks so cool and so cute. So it looks exactly like it does on here. So you can bend them up, put them into position where you want them. So that's always good. So you can just move them up and down. So you can move the toes down and just sort of position the toes, you know, how you want to see them. So that's really kind of what you need to do. So it's really cool. Right, so we'll just leave that for a minute, like so, to make sure that that's right. That might be upside down, but the last toe there, but we can just change that around. But there you go. Anyway, that's the idea of that. So we're going to now move on to the next stage, and that's putting 100-1, which is this piece, with 100-3 and 100-2. So this is 100-2. And then we want 100-3, which is this knobbly bit here. So it's this one, sorry. So that's the smaller one of the two. And that just goes in the end there. It's not asking us to glue that in, but we probably will. So I'm just going to just put them in a little bit for now, and then I'll glue those in. So I'm going to go glue those in, and then we'll be back in just a sec. So guys, now that we have glued that section together, it wants us to attach it into this piece here. So we need to make sure that we've got it round the right way. So what it's asking for us to do is have it this way round, so that that last one goes in there like so. So what we need to do now is just grab the pieces it wants. It wants us to grab this little sleeve. So this is 100-13. So we'll just grab that. I'm just going to pop the glue lid away before it sticks to me. And we need to grab this really thin, tiny looking screw. I wonder if that screw head would be okay. Probably not. We'll go and use the one that we have been using, which is this one. And we need to put that inside the sleeve, like so. And then that goes into there. And then what we need to do is pop that into place, like so. And then we just need to make sure that that's all level and in there. And then slowly screw that up into position. This is kind of like the last bit we're doing on this leg section. And then once that's nice and tight, not too tight, that will all move around in there, which is fine because that will all attach and be still later on. That still wobbles and moves in there anyway, which is fine. Probably a bit too loose, but oh well. Right, so the next thing we got to do, let's just turn the page and find out what they want us to do now. So we do need to attach that to the leg, and then we need to use this screw and washer to attach the lower bottom of the leg to that. So that's going to be fun. So let's just go ahead and grab that. And then what it's saying, it's not to say and do anything with the foot right now. It's saying that we need to attach this section to the leg itself here, which we can do like that. And it wants us to, I don't know if it's going to hold there. It wants us to take, let's see if we've got the number. So 100-17. And it wants us to have a washer on there as well. So the 100-17 is a washer, and then a PM screw. And then we need to just attach that to the end of our screwdriver. And then that's got to go all the way up inside there. Make sure you don't miss it. And then we've got to do that up until that starts to screw in place. You can see that's tightening. Don't want to go too far with it, guys. You want to still be able to move it around. That seems pretty good. There we go, it's coming together nicely. Right, so let's move that screw out of the way. The next thing we need to do after we've screwed that into place is to put the ends on these pistons. So what it's asking us to do is saying that there's one on here that's got a little, two of them have got cutouts and one of them is just plain. So the plain one we do nothing with, and the two bits on here that have the cutouts, we need to add these little rubbers to the top. So these are the we want the PWM screw and then the 100-12s to attach to the top of these, which we can do. And then we just need these tiny fiddly little black screws to hold it all down. So we'll just go ahead and put those on quickly now, if we can. Should be able to just put that over the top of there. It does say to squeeze it over, but there we go. And then put that on and then do that up. I don't know whether this screwdriver will work, but we can try it. It's got many screwdrivers floating about at the moment, guys. So you just need to screw it to the top like that. And then do the same on the other one. So we'll just go grab the other one and do that now. Looks like we're going to start putting things together, which is really exciting. So just start to screw that up. Put that over, make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. So that's the other one, which looks like that. So let's have a look and see what it wants us to do. So it's just asking us to push these into place. So there are two at the side here. So there's 1, 2 at the side there, which have these pistons. There isn't really much of a give or grab on those, so they will probably just fall out. But they're asking for us to put them in there. Oh, not that one. These two. So we'll just pop them up in there for a minute. I don't think that's going to stay. They're just going to fall out. But they're asking for them to go in where you can see them there. And then what it's saying for the last one to have is this one in place. But I don't think it's going to stay. I think it's just probably going to fall out again. But that's where that's got to go. And that's what it wants us to do for this one. It's talking a little bit about Astro Boy. It's getting really exciting and it's getting so close to finishing this off. So I'm really, really happy about doing this with you guys. So a little bit about Astro Boy, boots off the ground. And then in the next issue, it doesn't even look like we're going to even continue to do the foot again. We're going to move on to something else, guys. So attach the left foot. Oh, so we do get to attach the left foot and begin construction on the chest. How amazing is that going to be, guys? So that's what's going to be coming up in issue 101. I can't wait to do that with you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe just by clicking down here. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And remember, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care now. Bye bye.